Today, wanted to come on and talk about inspections and what the expectations should be for a buyer or a seller. So, especially buyers. So I've seen buyers who are new to the game, haven't made, any offers or purchased a home in the last, let's say, 10 years even. Where they are like, well, we're going over asking. I'm paying like $25,000 or $30,000 more than what they asked for. And since I'm doing that, can we make sure that we somehow account for, some of the mechanicals that are old or the roof that's old, like what's going to happen if something comes up in inspections? And I have to educate people and say, listen, we're in an environment where we are in a very competitive market. And in this competitive market, you want to make a competitive offer. And a part of that would be basically limiting your inspections to something. So you're not asking for a list of 10 things, right? And typically that's, structural and environmental, where if something's structurally wrong, you will discuss it and renegotiate. Environmentally, same thing, right? But you're limiting your negotiations to just those two things. That does not mean you don't do inspections. You do all the inspections you want to do. You just limit your negotiations to those two categories. Now, let's talk about mechanicals or the roof or something else that is old. If it's working, you can't negotiate on it. It could be 100 years old. If it's working, you cannot negotiate on it. You should not. That's kind of the industry standard. So can you? Yes, you can. But they're going to tell you go take a hike because we're not discussing mechanicals that are at the end of life. That's what they call them. A water heater has a certain age. A roof has a certain age. If roof is 29 years old, typical life of a roof is 30, but it could go for 32 years. It could go for 35 years. You don't know. But because it's at the end of life, does not mean you can go ask the seller, hey, give me a $10,000 credit towards this roof that I have to replace in the coming future. Very, very near future. Not happening. So don't even think about asking for that because you are going to create some tension. Not to say you can't. Again, you can ask for whatever you want, but they're likely going to tell you to go take a hike. Especially if you were a winning bid and there were other offers in line. So just, tread carefully on what you ask for. And if you put that up front in your offer, it makes your offer a lot weaker because you've got buyer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are like, we'll take the house, take our firstborn, just give us the house, we'll give you more for it, we'll limit inspections, we'll waive the appraisal, and I'll give you my firstborn, just give me the house. That's what you're up against. So you want to be careful on putting these things up front. Again, you need to be comfortable with what you're offering, but this is what the market is calling for right now. Have a great day.